Do you know that Malaysia has one of the world's cheapest fuel prices? While the global average hovers around 7.60 ringgit per liter, Malaysians are paying 3 times less, which is 2.5 ringgit retail and 1.99 ringgit under the Budi 95 subsidy program. But right now, the real challenge isn't whether the subsidized price is 1.99 or 2.50 ringgit. It's who still qualifies for 1.99 ringgit. If you're classified as T20 or even a higher income M40, you may soon have to pay the market price without subsidies. Welcome back to my channel. I am Huat Equity. I share simple and database breakdowns in Bursa, US and Singapore using real numbers and the big macro story behind them. If you enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this with someone who would find it helpful. First and most important, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has already said we cannot depend on Petronas forever. We need new sources of income, and the direction is targeted subsidies. That means 1.99 ringgit may stop being for everyone and become something you only get if you meet the criteria. If you're in the middle class, your cost of living could jump sharply because of this structural shift. And this isn't just an economic issue, but a livelihood issue for every Malaysian household. This table shows how sensitive living costs are to petrol. At 1.99 ringgit, 200 liter costs about 398 ringgit, so living costs stay relatively stable. But if the price moves to the retail level of 2.5 ringgit, that monthly bill rises to roughly 500 ringgit, and you start feeling the squeeze. If subsidies are removed and petrol hits 3.5 ringgit, your monthly fuel spend jumps to around 700 ringgit, which can quickly spill over into higher grab fares, delivery fees, and everyday food prices. It will put more inflationary pressure on your daily life. So today I'll break down the current petrol price situation, the likely trend ahead, and how it could impact your everyday life. First, let's start with the price of Brent you pay at the pump. We all know if Brent stays low, your budget will breathe. Nowadays, petrol in Malaysia costs 1.99 ringgit, but back in 2022, we saw peaks of over $120 per barrel. At that level, the government subsidy bill was a nightmare. Today, Brent crude is sitting at approximately $64 per barrel. With global oil prices are lower, the gap the Malaysian government has to bridge to keep the price at 1.99 ringgit becomes much smaller, so we're lucky we have a 1.99 ringgit oil price today. But don't forget, oil and refined fuel are priced in US dollars. So if the ringgit stays weak or swings a lot in 2026, the real cost can still feel heavy even if Brent stays low, and even a small rise in Brent combined with a weaker ringgit can push petrol prices up and squeeze your monthly budget. Second, I know many people have EV cars now like BYD or other popular models in Malaysia, but don't assume the EV boom will keep petrol cheap for you. Yes, EVs now are growing fast, but in the short term, EV adoption doesn't automatically push pump prices down. When oil car demand growth slows, big producers like OPEC don't just accept lower prices, they can cut output to defend their income and keep prices supported. So ironically, weaker demand can trigger tighter supply. Prices don't fall the way people expect. Oil and gas are the lifeblood of the Malaysian budget. If you want to know how to track this price change, a better way is to look at the Malaysian government's wallet. This is where the risk management comes in. Dividends and taxes from Malaysia's national oil company Petronas typically make up 23% to 28% of total government income. But when oil prices are low, Petronas earns less. And the current situation is, our government has already expected Petronas dividends to drop to around 20 billion ringgit in 2026 from 32 billion ringgit in 2025. When government revenue gets tight, subsidies are usually the first thing they look at cutting. So in general, we can enjoy the low prices now, but do not bake them into your long-term assumptions. Especially if you're in the higher income group I mentioned earlier, you need to learn how to manage and hedge against these risks early. We are living in a subsidized window that is dependent on global peace and low oil prices. These two things are hard to guarantee. What do you think? How much do you roughly spend on petrol each month? And have you bought any oil-related assets? Drop your thoughts below. Like and subscribe for more updates. See you next time.